Hello, y'all. Your girl is late because your girl had to eat because your girl was starving. Mm. But we're going to get started. Oh, which Oracle decks are we using today? Which Oracle deck are we using today? All right. Let me pick this out. Also, while we're here, is anybody going to the Native American festival, the Bronx Native American Festival tomorrow? Because if you are, you will see me there because I will be there tomorrow. Just grab all the Oracle decks. Yeah, you will see me there tomorrow. So, y'all, let me know if you're coming. If you are in New York City, I'm literally eating mango. I'm literally eating mango with eggs. Like, I'm just having a Dominican cena right now. There's nothing like eating mango with like when the yolk is like soft. Oh. But let me know. Oh, yeah, of course we have to have the Okana deck. Let me know if anybody's coming to that powwow because that powwow is about to be something else. I'm really, really excited about it. It is about to be something else. I'm trying to move everything around so I can have space to put the Oracle card somewhere. There we go. But hello, everybody. I hope everybody's doing good. I hope everybody had a good day. I hope everybody's been enjoying the shift from Virgo season to Libra season. It's definitely been something. Anytime the sun is moving from one side to the other, that first week, I'm just like I'm kind of over this Mercury retrograde already. Like I just want it to just be gone now. Like at this point, the amount of technology mishaps has been like something else. So I'm ready for it to be just like done and over with already. But yeah, for those who are in the tri-state, if you have nothing to do tomorrow, you should come to the Bronx Native American Festival, which is a powwow, and I'm gonna be there. I'm really excited to be there with the family and everybody. I love going to powwows just because they're really, I don't know, it's just nice. It reminds me of like what an areito would be. So yeah, I'm really excited to see everyone. There's a lot of people I'm going to meet tomorrow too, so I'm really excited about that. I guess I get to dance tomorrow as well at the powwow. I promise you I'm almost done. I promise. Probably have like 3 bites left, but I'm just like, I was really hungry because I was doing a lot of work today. Spirit had me all over the place today. Spirit had me making some things today. I was doing readings, y'all. But sometimes, like, I'll be doing readings throughout the day, and then I will feel hungry, and then all of a sudden it'll be like 8 o'clock, and I'm like starving. So here we are. But yeah, as always, for those who are Patreon members, High Priestess level, you guys already know your reading is included, so you can go ahead and drop your question because we're going in order. We will be here for like a good amount of time though. The only thing left that I have to do tonight is like wash my hair. I have a really bad habit of washing my hair at night. That's my regalia bag right there. But I have a really bad habit of washing my hair at night and then just waking up in the morning and just going about my day. Mm. Mm. And I am done. Just like that, with the quickness. No, mango is like one of my favorite things to eat. One second. Let me just put this plate somewhere. Somewhere that paint's not gonna eat it or lick it. But I hope everybody's having a good listen. It's been a thing. I am also going to be launching some things for Patreon. It's probably not going to be tomorrow. It's probably going to be Monday. You guys are going to get you guys will see what we're going to do. But yeah, there's going to be some things coming through. There's certain things that I'm working on right now. Y'all, I have to fix this camera because it's like it's not doing what I want it to be doing right now. Hold on. Okay. This was there we go. Anyway, welcome everybody. I hope everybody's having a good day. I hope everybody, is at peace. I hope everybody's like doing well after, all of the shifts that have been happening lately. October is going to be something else, and I hope y'all ready for that too, because it is going to be something else. With that being said, I'm going to show you guys what your Oracle card options are for the day. So as always, if you're a Patreon member, High Priest level, your reading is included. If you are a channel member, your reading is included as well. If you want me to pull some cards for you and you are not a Patreon member or a channel member, just if you're YouTube, send a super chat of $5 or $10. And if you're on TikTok, you can send a Cash App or Venmo to, basically it's the same, OkaniLuna. It's like the same name. And then just let me know in the comments when you sent it and what your question is, which deck you want me to use. If you wanted just a general reading, just say general reading. And if you want me to pick a deck for you, I will intuitively pick the deck for you. And we will go from there. Now, these are your card options. Ooh, had to burp. As always, the Flower Therapy, the Nature Speak Oracle deck, the Wisdom from the House of Night Oracle deck, the Messages from the Mermaids Oracle deck, which is one of my favorites, the Okana Oracle deck, the Sacred Symbols Oracle deck. Also, I always forget to mention, if you're going to pick the Okana deck, this is a shadow work deck. I have to say it every time, but this is a shadow work deck. This is not meant, if you are not ready to get like yelled at by your ancestors, don't pick this deck. I'm just saying. The Sacred Symbols Oracle deck, the Archangel Michael Oracle deck, and then I've just been really vibing with this deck lately, so we're going to use it. Where did I put it? Oh, here it is. And the Sea Melodies deck. This is one of my favorite decks. It is a really, 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 really good deck. I really love this deck. I'm about to just like get the whole collection, honestly, because I know there's like a forest one, a forest version, and it's a whole collection of them. So yeah, the first person is Michaela. Hi, everybody. The first person is Michaela. Like I was saying earlier, for those who just are coming in, if you're not doing anything tomorrow, I'm going to be at the Bronx Native American Festival, which is a powwow that's happening in the Bronx in Pelham Bay Park. And yeah, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be there with my peoples, with my Yukayeke, and yeah, I'm going to basically be there all day. Well, it ends at 4, but I'm basically going to be there all day. With that being said, we're going to get started. We're going to start with Michaela. Yeah, it's the Sea Melodies. It's the Sea Melodies. I intuitively, if you don't pick the deck, you already know I pick for you. But the Sea Melodies want to take this one. What does Michaela Hawkins need to know? 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 Ooh. Okay. Okay. Bottom of the deck is dance. Take inspiration from the moonlight, dancing on the surface of the sea. I just got a notification from a Patreon member. Don't put it on Patreon. Put it in the comment section in the video because I can't go to the Patreon website right now. So put the question inside of the comment section inside of YouTube. And if you're on TikTok, put it on TikTok. But don't put it on Patreon because I can't see it right now. I can't see the whole comment. I just saw the notification just pass by. With that being said, Michaela. So you have, the first one you have is travel. Okay, travel. And it says, seeing the surface of the ocean is not the same as diving deep to see the coral. Okay, then we have optimism. Okay, optimism. After each rainstorm, there will be clear skies. Okay, and then we have reflect. Reflect. Peer into the endless ocean and see what peers back. So you are definitely called to kind of be a little bit more open right now, but not necessarily like necessarily with other people per se, mainly with how you're experiencing things. So when it comes to travel, this definitely speaks to a journey. Now, traveling physically, like flying somewhere, I wouldn't recommend it right now because it is Mercury retrograde. If you are going to travel, if you're going to plan a trip and you're trying to do it like within October, I would do it before. I would travel before Mars goes retrograde, which is on the 30th of October. Travel before Mars goes retrograde. Okay. If you travel after, you might get caught up on some Mercury retrograde vibes because Mars is going to be retrograding in Gemini until January 12th. But this it feels more like a journey, or like you actually kind of feeling excited about something, feeling excited about like, okay, something has been kind of works in motion, and you have like the optimism, you have like the how you feel about getting there, how you feel about the journey of it. It's something that is bringing a lot of emotion. It's bringing a lot of things to the surface. It's bringing a lot of just it's just elevating the spirit a lot. That's the way that it's coming up. It's elevating the spirit. It's feeling like it's refreshing. It's almost like taking it, and this could be like maybe you need to take a little bit of a short trip or a weekend getaway kind of thing, or maybe like, listen, when it comes to your girl's Mars is in Sagittarius. So I love to travel. Like I'll do a weekend getaway because I'm in the tri-state. I will go to Boston for the weekend. I will go to Philly for the weekend. I will go and it could be for whatever reason. Like I just love traveling. And sometimes when I need a break and I know that I need to kind of step out of whatever's going on, and I need that break, I will, plan like a little short trip with babe, and it just be like, oh, let's go over here. Let's just, I'll book something and boom, we'll stay for a couple days. Like it's one of those things that it requires you to refresh your energies. It's a way to just kind of cleanse yourself, honestly, by just stepping on other land, stepping on different area, being in a different zone. It helps to clear your mind. It helps to kind of get you in a different perspective. So you could do like something like that as well, but it definitely seems like there's a journey that you're in that you're very excited about. You're definitely very, very excited about. And when it comes to the reflect card, it's very much like, hey, what is it that I need to do? I already know where I'm going. I'm excited that I'm going there. I'm excited that I am on journey, on task. Like I have this goal set in mind and I'm planning on, doing this thing. How are you, like the reflect card is coming up in a way as far as like, how are you actively getting ready for that thing, right? So this could literally be you going on, you're thinking about moving to another state, or you're thinking about, just maybe you need a break, or maybe you're leaving your job and you're wanting to start something new, or maybe you're shifting, you know, something, or moving from position to a different position in the building. You could literally be in a building. You could be going one floor up or something like that. How are you preparing yourself for that journey? How are you prepared? How are you ready? Like, have you packed your bags? Okay. Have you, thought about what you want? Have you thought about how you want your space to be? How are you preparing yourself to welcome this new journey that you're very excited about? Okay, this new thing that you're very actively excited about. How are you preparing yourself for it? Right? Spirit definitely wants you to have fun. See, you're getting dance and wild right underneath each other. Spirit wants you to have fun right now, like a little bit, like that joy, but also actively be very mindful of how you're preparing yourself for what's coming up. It's almost like it feels like you're in a transitionary period where you are actively celebrating and actively like happy and excited for something new, but at the same time you're still processing the remnants of the past. Like, it feels like that shift is just, there's still whatever needs that you need to reflect on as you move forward. You need to make sure you still have time for that as you're still excited for everything else. If you have a moment where as the day's going by, it's like you're having that kind of, like, you just that moment of like, thinking about back at that time. Like, listen, the retrogrades are the retrogrades right now. Everything in their mama is a retrograde right now. So when it comes to the energy itself, when it comes to looking at the intensity of the energies, and in the fact that it does make you have that moment, those moments of reflection, as you are also obviously headed forward, you're going to have those moments where you're going to have to reflect. And this is a great time to look at how you can prepare yourself for the better, how you can, stop any mishaps. Like, okay, what did you learn from before that, can help you navigate, what's coming up? What did you learn? What was the lesson? What was the last lesson you learned? And how can I help you approach the next situation in a different way, right? So it's really about you getting clear, but also feeling excited. It's a very fun energy. This is also a great time for you to like go out with your friends as well. I think there should be a balance with the mundane and like your joy, like with the things that you enjoy. There's a great time to like go out with your friends, do something fun, maybe go dancing, like really getting called to dance right now. Go dancing, have fun, eat some good food, like refresh, and then, like in the morning over a cup of coffee or tea, sit down and think about whatever thoughts come through. Like, just reflect on those things, allow that to process, allow yourself to kind of go with that flow of the ebbing and flowing of moving towards the future, but also being in a state of reflection, which are very much triggered by the retrogrades right now. And maybe you just need that break. Like, you haven't given yourself that break to kind of just like, like, I just need to relax. And maybe now's the time for you to take it. So yeah, the energy is really beautiful. I think it's like relaxing, but it's very like ebby and flowy. It's very mellow, but fun at the same time. It has a lot of different elements. But yeah, that is your reading, my love. I hope that it made sense. I hope that you got the messages that you needed. Before we get into the next one, so the next one is CC. For those who are on Patreon, you have to put the question in the chat. For those who are channel members, also put the question in the chat. You can pick which deck you want me to pull from, and the question, if you want it to be a general reading, it could be a general reading. For those who are not Patreon members or channel members, you can send $5 to $10 either through Super Chat on YouTube, or through Cash App or Venmo, which is the same as my username. So OkaniLuna would be the same. It would be the name. These are your Oracle card for today. So you have the Nature Speak Oracle. Okay. You have the Flower Therapy. Okay. You have the Sea Melodies, which I just read from. I love this deck. It's super sweet. It's a really sweet deck. We have the Messages from the Mermaids. Okay. We have the Sacred Symbols Oracle deck. Archangel Michael Oracle deck, the Wisdom from the House of Night Oracle deck, and lastly, the Okana Oracle deck, which I shall remind y'all, do not pick this deck unless you're trying to do shadow work, because this deck will read you to the field. Okay. Anyway, so CZ said, any deck, please. Will our paths cross again? He moved on so quickly, makes me feel like he never really cared, like the whole relationship was a lie. Am I bugging? Okay. Which deck's coming up for me? Hold on. Okay, you might not like this one, but the Okana deck wants to take this one, so we're just gonna have to comply with the ancestral demands. I think the ancestors just want to take this one. Listen, but okay, so for those who have not been here before, this is the Okana deck, which was created by an amazing Afro-Latina who is also a Bruja, if I'm not mistaken. And this is literally meant to be only used for shadow work. This deck always gets sold out. I think there's a special edition of it right now, which is the Get It special edition, if I'm not mistaken. That is limited edition. So if y'all want to get your hands on this deck, because it does come back here and then, but it's like, you know, it's one of those things that it gets sold out quite often anytime she reprints it. But I just threw the whole deck halfway. Okay. I really love working with this deck because it's just so amazing. Such a powerful deck. But with that being said, the answer wanted to take this one, so it's gonna have to be this one. Sorry, Cece, I let you know. But you're about to get rented with filth by the ancestors. So Cece wants to know, calling her ancestors and guides, okay? Will our paths cross again? Moved on so quickly, makes me feel like he never really cared, like the whole relationship was a lie. Am I bugging? Is she bugging? Okay, that came out really fast. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, y'all. So we shall now read from the book. This is one of the only decks that I read from the book when I'm doing like readings, just because you have to read from the book. You have to read from the book. It's like the opposite from the Mummy, where they're like, do not read from the book. No, we have to read from the book for this deck because it's a lot of messages. Okay. The first card is Sorrow. Sorrow. Okay, sorrow. Sorrow. I can't talk today. Sorrow. Is it through deep sadness that one masters discouragement? Shadow element. Allowing any inconvenience to discourage you from pushing ahead on your journey to success. What does it mean to master discouragement? Through profound sadness. It means that even when you're pursuing the thing that you want most to succeed, that if at any point in that journey you're hit with an obstacle that hurts your feelings or fills you with temporary doubts, that you continue pushing through. Often we hear stories of celebrities starting from nothing, living paycheck to paycheck, striving for years or even decades to hit their big break. And then eventually when they do, they relay their stories on television or internet videos, hoping to inspire others, but are met with skepticism or even pushback. But they did exactly what this card is saying, that you refuse to do, which is to persist. They feel the hurt of rejection just as you have, the sting of being ignored just as you have, and the disappointment of slow success. But with that sadness exists determination, grit, and a stubbornness to succeed, which you need. Okay. This card suggests that you have in the past or even currently allowed slights of any size to knock the winds out of your sails, encouraging you to retreat into being a non-entity, intimidated and fearful of the sadness that often comes with the pursuit of happiness. Then I gotta find the other one. Hold on. Y'all, this deck. Okay. The next one is Hurt. Okay. You were born to be the head, not the tail. Beautiful card. Shadow element, a struggle to take accountability for one's own choices, shortcomings, or mistakes. It is oftentimes very easy to point the finger at others for their role in the demise or destruction of a situation in life. But one must realize that when one finger is pointed out, five more are pointed back. This card suggests that there are elements present in your life that you need to stand firm and take accountability on, because the only way to resolve them effectively for you to move on to into peace is to tackle them as if you they are your problem only. Of course, there are times when there's a multi-party quarrel that you can't control how others work through things, or even if they work on them at all. So it's up to you, the person doing the shadow work, to take it upon yourself to work through it yourself, so that you are free from the confines of blame, feeling slighted, and allowing it to hinder your path. For example, this can manifest in itself as simply a disagreement about responsibilities. If you regulate yourself to being the judge of a situation versus actively trying to fix it, nothing will get done, and the breakdown of trust and respect are short to follow. Your ancestors are asking you to take leadership role in your life and action, and work on taking accountability. Okay, so listen, this reading is going to be something else. First of all, um, ans- the ancestors are being very, very clear with this reading. They're very, very clear, and it's in a very blunt way, but they're quite literally telling you that you need to be focusing on yourself. Um, it's also like, in a way, that this relationship has caused you to get out of track with yourself, and the focus on this relationship is making you feel very emotionally insecure, but also on an ego level insecure, and very much more focused on the after effects of it all instead of you taking control. The ancestors are very much like, you do realize you have control of your life. You don't have to depend on other people to it really comes down to, if somebody wants to be there, they will be there. But if it's out of your control, you cannot allow things that are out of your control to literally completely knock the wind out of your sails, to really take away from all of the things that you need to do moving forward. Because it's not really about, oh, are you going to cross paths with this person again? It's more of, are you going to be ready to move on with your life? Because if you do cross paths with this person again, are you going to be the person that's been waiting for them to come back, or are you going to live your life, do your own thing? And if you're meant to come back together in some capacity, then that will happen. It's like the same way in the it's interesting, because of the words that are coming up is the same way that they have moved on, and they're choosing that journey for themselves. It's the same thing that you should be doing right now. While relationships can be very, very complicated, and while you are definitely in effect of a lot of retrograde energy right now when it comes to this specific issue, especially, y'all, we're in Libra season. Libra season is all about committed relationships. So anything that has to do with commitment, with relationships, love, pleasure, all that kind of stuff, very Venusian energy. But this is also the season of balance and justice. And is it fair that you're the only one thinking this way right now? Because if he felt the same way, you wouldn't have asked me this question, right? Let's just keep it 100. Let us keep it 10,000% right now. If it was equally in balance, you wouldn't be asking me this question, because said person would be equally in balance with you. Right now, you are out of equilibrium, and you need to focus on your own journey. You're kind of out of sorts with yourself. And instead of seeing it as oh, like, okay, how am I moving forward? It's like the fact that they move forward so quickly feels Like it's like, damn, oh my God. Like it just feels like like, wow, really? Like shit. Like, oh my God, you didn't even take a second. Like, were you like that over it? Were you that, like it just feels like it's hurting your ego first and foremost. It's your ego that's hurt right now. It's your ego. And due to your ego being hurt, because there's a sense of wanting things to be in balance, the way that you balance this out is by focusing on yourself. When you don't give someone the power and the energy to specifically impact you in a way that they're taking like your mental peace and they like took a shot at your ego, which this can feel very much like a shot at your ego. If someone who said they cared about you, or someone that said they loved you or whatever, all of a sudden, everything goes south, and then it's like, oh, damn, that was fast. But it happens. It happens. It 1000% happens. And it also depends on the sign too, because the second you have like Aquarius placements, for example, like y'all listen, my Venus is in Aquarius, and I am known for getting over things and people in like less than 60 seconds. I know it sounds cruel, but your girl's Venus is in Aquarius. So there's literally times where I can't, the fucks were given, and it's we're over it now. It's like it just happens. Like that's just part of how I process things. There's literally friendships that I've literally gotten over in less than 60 seconds. That I've just been like, okay, so what am I eating tonight? And then literally it'll look like I literally don't give a fuck because I really stopped. Like, I really just, it went somewhere. It's stuck in the past. All of that got stuck in the past. So see, you have to also pay attention to astrologically what's going on with them, because if they have some, air energy, air and fire signs get over things really quickly. Specifically, air signs, they get over things really quickly. So you can't expect them to get stuck. Like Gemini, quick. Sometimes they can, but for the most part, sometimes they're stuck up here, and then they get stuck in that Mercury retrograde energy, and they'll send the person a text or something. But for the most part, as far as action goes, you have to pay attention to how they process stuff. Their Venus sign right now will probably tell you more about how they're processing things than anything else. Because if their Venus is in an air sign, or if their Venus is in a fire sign and they like moved on to like a whole nother person, then that fire, that passion is on another person right now. It's literally not like you are in the back of their minds. So you also have to pay attention to that aspect of it, because they're layers. Not everybody processes things in the same way, and you can't allow that to actively hurt you, because that's just how people are. Some people will get over things very quickly. Some people will take 10 to 5 to 15 years to get over one thing, and it happens. It's just how people are. It might take me a very quick time to get over people and things. It can take somebody else like a year or so to process something. Like I've gotten over relationships of 2 years. Like one of my first longest relationship, no, my second longest relationship of 2 years. I got over it in under 60 seconds. I was over it. I was thinking about something else. I was planning the trip to somewhere else, and I didn't think about it at all. Like I was just like, okay, time came for me to move forward. Like that's it. Like it was really, but that's my Venus in Aquarius. Like I'm very, once it's time, it's time. So it's kind of one of those things that you have to understand that his process might not be the same as your process. Your process might have you lingering on it for a while. So like if you have your Venus in a water sign, you're definitely feeling through it a lot, and you might be even intuitively wanting to channel things, or you might even be dreaming about them. They might be haunting you in certain ways. If you have your Venus in an earth sign, and you can easily, Venus and earth signs can easily make it into the one that got away type of vibe real quick. So you got to be really careful with that. And then the fire signs will either feel very passionately about the thing, or eventually it'll just kind of burn out. But the air signs get over stuff the fastest, like generally speaking. So when it comes to this energy, your ancestors is like, why aren't you focusing on you? Why aren't you focusing on you? Why are you giving all of your emotions to this? Why aren't you focusing on you? Because He's not focusing on you, and somebody has to focus on you. Somebody has to care about you because you have to take care of yourself. So if no F's are going to be given towards you, then you need to give it to you. This comes back to what I always say when it comes to you got to be your own best friend. You got to love yourself first too. Okay, you got to do that first, which means that you have to put yourself first emotionally before anything else. Um, or else you would get kind of stuck in these moments where it's like we're looking for that love and that affection from others who are caught up in their own life, and that's not what they're even about, you know? So you have to make sure that you are taking care of you. If you're not taking care of you, if you're not in the space to take care of yourself, if you're avoiding yourself, if you're literally all you think about is just like, oh my God, like I just feel like hurt, like it really like Abby, but you don't understand. I understand. This is a hit to your ego. That's the way that this reading is coming up. This is a hit to your ego. This is impacting your ego. This is something that is, it doesn't feel good on an ego level. And it because it's hurting your ego, it's hurting you emotionally in a way where it's like, so you didn't really care the whole time. So it's like it turns into you questioning everything and like looking and diving into like, oh, were there red flags? Were there, okay, see, the Venus is in Capricorn. That you do not want to make this into the one that got away energy, especially Venus and Capricorn energy. Listen, let's just take a moment for Venus and Capricorn. This is one of my favorite Venus placements. I'm being biased because I'm a Capricorn, but Venus and Capricorn is just very, very loving. Like Venus and Capricorn is ready to like give you whatever you want in life, like whatever you need. Like Venus and Capricorn will make it happen in some capacity. But the thing is that not everybody wants that kind of love, like where it's like a very, grounding love. Some people are actively in a place where they are, they're just not, some people are actively in a place where they're just not capable of, or even with what's happening with them in their lives, they might pull back within themselves because they have so much stuff going on internally that they can only do like a short-term thing, or some people also, and again, it depends on what sign they were. Um, and I say this because there are some fire signs, there's some air signs, like even Libra energy. As much as it rules committed relationships, Libra can go from relationship to relationship very quickly. And when I say very quickly, like I mean like Libras can go very quickly. Like it's an air sign, so it has to, it has to kind of shift. It has to kind of navigate differently. Um, but you need to focus right now on you. You definitely need to give yourself a little bit more effort. You need to tap into healing your ego right now. The retrogrades that are happening for the remainder of the year might have you on pause, might have you reflective, might have you kind of feeling a lot of different things. Scorpio season is definitely going to be emotionally triggering, but it would be in your best interest to focus on your own happiness, because that's really the way that this is coming out. It's your own happiness, your own joy, your own elevation, your own process. Because right now your journeys are not in the same place, right? It's not in the same place. Instead of worrying about whether or not you're gonna bump into them ever again, which I know can be, I know how that feels like to kind of to go through that where you're just like, oh, something ended, but you're like still hoping there's a window there. I know what that feels like. I 1000% know what that feels like. It's not a pleasant feeling at all, but there's a lot of different things that happen in these kind of pocket windows, where you might think that they're the thing that you're still hoping for, but as you start moving forward, different doors will start opening to different things. At the end of the day, if you have set any type of spell work within the last year, okay, within the last year, even a little over that, but within this year, for like, let's say you set, some goals for relationship wise. Maybe you want to commitment, maybe you want to get married, maybe you want to, have a family, maybe you want to have kids, whatever it is. Okay, let's say you set a goal for yourself. if you set the intention, not necessarily to, dominate or control them to be with you or anything like that. You just said, I would really love within my relationship for us to grow, for us to, get to this place, whatever, for us to be happy, like the intentions we set. If you did any type of spell work that was about grounding a relationship deeper and they got removed, they're not the one. I cannot stress that enough. I'm just gonna save you some time. Okay. I'm just gonna save you some time. They're not the one. If they got removed, they are not the one. They're either not ready or they're going on their own path, but they might not be the one if they got removed. Because if you do like spell work like that, where you're like actively trying to ground a relationship or ground in a relationship, like you're like, hey, I would really, I see myself married or I see myself in this place, and that's not the way they're seeing their life, they gotta go. That's how spirit sees it. They're like, okay, well, you want this, but they don't want that. So if you want this, I'm gonna have to send somebody else your way, which means that they gotta go. So you have to like keep that in mind as well. Now, everything that I'm just saying, you're like, Abby, but I'm not there yet. I know you're not there yet. And you're not gonna be there for a minute, but I'm telling you right now, focus on yourself, focus on your own self-love, focus on empowering yourself and your own energy. If someone's not giving an F about you, and if you're giving more of an F about them than they're giving about you, red flag. Okay? Red flag. You need to redirect that energy to yourself. Okay? Because you need that right now. You need that right now. You're in a space where you need reset. Okay? You need to cleanse. You need to take care of yourself. You need to love yourself right now. You need to take care of your ego. You need to release this kind of relationship and just kind of, if it's meant to happen again, it's meant to happen. Okay, you're open to it. But if it's not, okay, I'm setting it. I'm setting it. But it's something that you're going to be healing through for the next couple of weeks. Obviously, healing is not, it doesn't happen like automatically. It takes time. So it's something that, you have to give yourself time with. But with that being said, make sure you're prioritizing yourself. If you find yourself the majority of the day still thinking about this person more than you're thinking about yourself, red flag. You need to prioritize yourself and your feelings. If you're not doing that, you are going to be feeling like shit because they're not prioritizing you. And it's just going to be a cycle of who's caring about you, who's caring about Cece, who's caring about you. If you're not doing it, who's doing it? Right? So you have to kind of take a step back and release. You might need to do some release work right now, but you definitely need to do some self-care work right now. You definitely do. If you end up, if Libra season compels you to set some relationship intentions, and you can also do that if you wanted to do some sort of spell work where you release and then welcome relationship energy, or like the path to be open for you to get on the journey where you're getting married or whatever it is that you want relationship wise for your relationship goals. You can absolutely do that, but you need to understand that in order for you to have what you want relationship wise, you have to be ready to receive it. And right now you're not ready to receive it. You're stuck on this person. So you have to do the work to, one, heal yourself, release, love yourself, and prepare yourself for this to come through. All of that has to happen before you get what you want. All of it has to happen before you get what you want. Okay, just take it from me. Okay, take it from me. Take it from your Capricorn bestie. Okay, all of that has to happen before you get what you want. It is something that I personally gone through. It's not easy, but you have to focus on yourself. You absolutely have to focus on yourself, because people will listen. I'm gonna tell you my fact. We're gonna do a quick story time. So one of my exes was one of my best friends for a really, like, for years. Like, I knew them for like 10 years. And I was in love with them for like pretty early on. I was like stuck in a emotionally like having feelings for them for like years. And then, but the whole situation was complicated because basically he decided to friend me, even though he apparently was in love with me too the whole time, annoyingly, because his best friend had a crush on me, and I was friends with his best friend, which was a whole other thing. listen, the whole point of it was like, oh, to avoid drama, right? But it turned into like not following through with the feeling. So it got to the point where I got over it. And then it turned into, oh no, they did that thing that you're asking me. Like they came back and then it was just like, okay, well, I don't feel anything. Like I was so it's one of those things that sometimes if that happens and then you're just like completely over it, it's like, well, you missed the window. There's the window that was there. It was missed. And so here we are. Here we are now. So you have to be mindful about how and also where other people are at, because not everybody is gonna be on the same page when it comes to what you need, when it comes to what they need. Like the journey splits. Okay, the journey literally will like, and Jupiter's in Aries right now. Aries is the sign that if you can't keep up with them, they will leave you behind. If their journey is over here and you were on the journey with them, you're walking with them for a minute, but then it's like you started going this way and they started going that way, they will leave you behind. They got things to do. So very much the energy is very self-centered right now due to that. It's in retrograde. So the whole entire situation itself could have been a long time coming, like for a couple of weeks or months now, and they just kind of feel, they're in a different place mentally. But your ancestors are worried about you. They're not worried about that. That's like very much the focus ancestrally. Your ancestors are like, can you think about you? Because we think about you. We're not thinking about them. They obviously, if they were meant to stay, they would have. Or they're not in the right space to be there right now. But no, the answer is no. The answer is no, boo. I know it doesn't feel good, but just focus on healing yourself. Anyway, that's the Okana deck. You already know. You already knew what was gonna happen because you already knew. Okay. Oh my God, the Okana deck. Everybody wants to get to read to the film today. Okay. Okay. We're gonna do this today. Okay. What do they need to know? Oh. That came out really fast. Okay. So you got two cards, my love. Hold on, I gotta find harmony, which is very on theme for harmony. Very on theme for Libra season. Okay, 1 second. Where's harmony? Where is harmony? Oh, got harmony. Okay. There we go. Okay, sweet. So the first one is harmony. Okay, harmony. Where there is life, there's always hope. Okay, shadow element, a struggle with being hopeful and optimistic. Are you a glass half full or a glass half empty kind of person? This card suggests that you are currently experiencing a time where your spirit is disharmonious with your surroundings. However, instead of focusing on what you can do to alter your reality, you have lost hope in there ever being a time where you're truly content, happy, and at peace. It suggests that you may have given up. Are you longing for harmony and don't know how to grasp it? Your ancestors recognize the dejection manifesting in your heart and are telling you to do the work with the joys, to telling you to work with the joys you experience, even if it's as small as an act of lighting a nice candle or watching one of your favorite films. Doing this gives you the opportunity to plant a seed of contentment, even if it's the size of a mustard seed that you can water with small acts so that it grows into a positive disposition that you can harvest in times when you feel you're being tested emotionally. Okay, so that's harmony. Then you have, I was holding it and it just moved. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Possess. Then you have possess. Okay. The shadow is behind you. Shadow element. Presence of entitlement, selfishness, or harboring negative energy. It is important to never lose one sense of proportion. What that means is that through ourselves that we recognize when we're taking more than we give. Is that because we feel we're deserving of it or because we simply do not consider others? That behavior can manifest as always seeking to gain something for as little input as possible from our fellow humans, or simply always putting yourself first in any and every situation. For example, never venerating your spirits for the sake of it, merely coming to when you are in need, fully expecting to be helped, or always venting to your friends about your issues and never being there in their time of need. Sure, these can be easily forgotten and perhaps it is unintentional, but to live by the process of spiritual ascension means to live with intention. And this card is asking you to take stock in your spiritual and physical interpersonal relationships and make sure you are giving as much as you desire to take. Okay, so you see that's a theme here. There's definitely a theme here. This is giving something being out of balance, especially because you're getting the harmony card, so something is definitely out of balance, and it definitely feels like someone is taking more and putting more of an effort than another person is putting in. This could be you to yourself, like maybe you're someone who like literally busts their ass at work and does everything and helps everybody, but like when you need something, it's like crickets. Or this could be, somebody doing this to you as well. But there's an unbalancing here. There's something that's not balanced here, and it's out of selfishness. That's kind of the other thing about it. It's out of selfishness, especially with the possess card. It's out of selfishness. Is not, it's not fair. It's not fair. It's careless. It's very dismissive. It's also very just using people to kind of just get what you want and then not caring what happens otherwise. This energy can be very harsh to kind of have to deal with, and it can feel um, like you just don't have the door open, or you don't have people on your side, or vice versa, because again, this could go the other way around, but it can feel like you don't really have someone on your side to kind of be there, or to just like, oh, it's giving very cancer energy too. That's the other thing. It's giving cancer energy, because you guys know cancer sign, cancers are the sign that will tell you when something is like not fair. They will tell you, like, you know what, I do this for you all the time, but you never do this for me, and that's not fair. I don't think that's fair, that I do it for you all the time and you don't care. Like, you don't care enough to do that for me. They will tell you straight up, like, okay, this is, I don't like how you're going about this. I don't like that this happened. I don't like XYZ and B. When it comes to this energy, you have to make sure that you are advocating for yourself. And if you're the one that's doing the possessive, the possess, you have to also be very self-aware of how you are with others, because this card it just gives birth to narcissists. Where they just kind of take, use, manipulate for whatever they want, and then they kind of like guilt trip you about anything else later. It can feel very entitled, and it can feel like, it's just not fair. It really comes down to it feeling like the words is not fair. It's not fair. Why I gotta be like this? Why? Like, it almost feels like you're stuck in that cycle. And so your ancestors and your spirits are like, can you recognize that this is a cycle? Can you break the cycle? Can you stop the cycle? Can you, right? Um, you really have to do some, it feels like you have to be honest with yourself, right? Because in order to bring harmony back, you're going to have to be honest with yourself. That means coming to terms with the truth of the situation so that it actually makes sense and you're clear on what you're going to do about it moving forward. Like, how are you going to move forward from the situation? You have to decide to do that. That is something that you have to say, you know what? I recognize that this is an issue. I recognize that this is impacting me in this way. I recognize that, this doesn't feel good. Like, I'm not happy about this. Or you know what? I recognize that I've been treating people like this, or I recognize that I'm not, I haven't been the best person, right? It is a time for you to hold yourself accountable or hold others accountable and be very honest and blunt about it. Because if you are bringing harmony, you can't just be nice about the things that you are balancing. If you healing sometimes looks like you cursing someone out. Sometimes healing looks like you cursing someone out and you telling someone off because it's well deserved. Or because that person doesn't value you, or that person doesn't have you in mind, or that person is just kind of like taking, but they don't care. Right. So you have to be very mindful of how you're handling the situation, but you also have to recognize that whatever solution you come up with as far as what fair is, um, it's because it needs to be said. Whatever words are coming up, it needs to be said. Whatever truth comes out, it needs to be said. It needs to be dealt with. And you need to rebalance and recalibrate so that you are back in alignment with yourself. Like really, that's what it comes down to. It comes down to you being back in alignment with yourself. So that is your reading, my love. I hope that it makes sense. I hope that you got all the messages that you needed. Definitely a lot, but it's definitely giving narcissist vibes. I'm just saying it's giving narcissist vibes. It's definitely giving narcissist. Okay. So, let's see. Next is Solemn Sun. Okay. So, may I have a general reading? Whatever deck calls, any messages for moving financial endeavors, healing, obstacles, and upcoming spiritual workings. Okay, so the wisdom of the House of Night wants to take this one. So we're going to do this one. Because, you got to listen to the decks when they tell you they want to take the reading. Okay, let's see. General reading, any messages for finances, healing, obstacles, and spiritual workings. Reading. General reading. General reading. Okay. Ooh, okay. Bottom of the deck is summon. Summon and letting go. So within the next couple of weeks, if you need help releasing, especially during Scorpio season, you're going to have to ask for help. You're going to have to call on your spirits. But you are getting reminder and message. And then you're getting the moon and the high priestess of spirit. Okay. So the message for these two cards was very clear when I shuffled them. There's going to be certain messages that come to you at a specific time, and they might seem very inconvenient when they come to you. But you need to stop what you're doing and write them down so you don't forget it later. Okay, don't forget. Right. But I don't know if you've ever been in this situation where you're kind of this happens to me like at the most random time sometimes, but I'll be walking to the train. I'll be at work sometimes, and then so all of a sudden I'll get a line or a message or something. It'll just come into my brain, and then I'm just like, oh damn, I need to write this down. And I keep telling myself, I keep trying to like find a way to remember it because I don't want it to leave. So I have to pull out my phone and just like write it down so I can like revisit it later. You're gonna have one of those moments where there's going to be a message that's going to be delivered specifically, and you're going to have to make sure you write it down. You have to remember it. It's very important that you don't let it go, just like come and go, because sometimes that happens. Sometimes that happens to me when I'm sleeping too. Like I'll be about to fall asleep. When you're in that space that you're literally about to like knock out, right? And you already closed your eyes, you're comfortable, you don't want to move, and then you get a message And it's like, I will literally force myself to get my phone and just be like, and then I'll fall back asleep and then I'll see it in the morning. It's going to be one of those. You need to, this message needs to be captured. You can't just like dismiss it. So, um, this is a specific message for these two cards. That's really what's coming up as far as that. But the next two, you have the Moon and the High Priestess of Spirit. Within the next couple of weeks, you're going to be doing a lot of intuitive work. There's going to be a lot of spiritual work, but a lot of intuitive work. You are being called to specifically work with your emotional energies, but also with the way the moons are, with the transits of the moon. One of the things that I used to do on my Instagram all the time was that I used to do an update for like the moon transits every 2.5 days when the moon will shift from one to the other, and I will post like what you should be doing based on like the chart and everything, what you should be working on, and different things that you can kind of do for yourself to better yourself, whether it be like herbs that you should be working with or crystals, whatever it was. You're being called to work with the energy of the moon, so that's not just like looking at it from a one-dimensional way or of like, okay, I'm working with the moon's energy. No, I mean like working with the phases of the moon. I'm talking about working with the transits of the moon as well. Like looking at where the moon is right now and seeing like how you can be working with it at this time to support your own spiritual practice. And this is something that this is one of the reasons why I used to make those posts, because it just comes in handy to, you know, dive in and work with your intuitive energies. It also helps to develop your intuition when you're working with the moon and the moon phases and the transits, and spiritually doing that work at the same time. It really, really helps a lot. So I recommend like looking at the transits for each every 2.5 days when the moon moves from sign to sign. Work with the energy of that specific moon sign. Okay. Work with the energy of that moon sign. Look at, you know, like for example, if it's in a fire, like if the moon is in a fire sign, or if it's in a water sign is a great time to work with the element of water, to work on your intuitive abilities, your spiritual abilities, to do a cleansing, to you can do so much with the element of water at the end of the day. If it's like in an earth sign, you can work with herbs, crystals, focus on grounding, emotionally grounding yourself, emotionally grounding within your abilities, setting intention to grow your intuitive abilities, focusing on your body, any blockages spiritually within the body. If it's in air, you want to make sure that you are kind of cleansing out the space, but how you're emotionally connecting to the atmosphere that you're around. If it's in fire, you can do like candle magic, or you can work with the element of fire. That includes eating the foods that you're eating as well, because that is, you know, turning itself into energy, which is fueling you as well. You can focus on having fun on those days as well. So you can do something that's like intuitively do something fun for yourself. Spend time outside, you know, do some, you know, sun cleansings, just cleansing and charging with, you know, the energy of the sun. You can do a lot, but I think there's a lot of kind of your focus should be in developing and working with spirit itself. So that includes with all of the elements, that includes with your own spirit, but also nature spirits as well. So it's a lot of work that you're doing, but I feel like it can help you when it comes to your spiritual work, and also intuitively getting comfortable with what you need to be doing. Your intuition will literally move quickly if you kind of follow that rhythm of working with the moon. Quickly develop, like with the quickness. But that is your reading, my love. I hope that it makes sense. I hope that it makes sense. Wait, Cece said, my moon be killing me, shaking my head, these retrogrades trying to kill me. Listen, retrogrades is not, you know, we're not going to be free from them like till pretty much the next year. There are some retrogrades that are ending. The generational planets, you know, retrograde's going to end fairly soon. Saturn retrograde, Neptune retrograde in December, Jupiter retrograde. It's Mars is not till January though. This is what I'm saying. There's certain things that are going to, and the Mercury retrograde is going to happen again at the end of December. It's like there's some retrogrades that are not gonna, like, we're not gonna be fully free from all retrogrades until like mid-January. So yeah, it's just you gotta work. Did I not warn y'all in the summer? Did I not tell y'all the fall and through winter was gonna be a little bit of a I warned y'all. I told y'all it was gonna be a mess with these retrogrades. I told LOL, me wanting a reading, but I'm too physically. It's like trust myself, fall asleep. And my turn next time listening. No, thank you for doing this. Oh, 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 wait. So you're a new channel member. That's why it's green. Okay. Hi. Welcome to thank you. Welcome to being a channel member. Oh yes, easy said get the reading and watch it later. Okay, because you're like about to fall asleep. Okay. So wait, hold on. I'm like reading through the comments right now. Wait, okay. So general, okay, well, general, then I know I need self-care and I working on it slowly. I I feel too slow. That's what you said, I think. Oh, wait, no, there's another post. Hold on. General reading any deck, just checking in. I know I need self-care and I'm working on it, but I always feel I'm too slow as an Aries, yeah, feel my spiritual sense is opening with me and my family. Um, Anytime I see an Aries call themselves slow, I always wonder what else they have in their chart. That's when the astrologer in me is like, what's making you so? What other placements that you have that are making you move slower? Because that's really the question. If you have like, because I've seen charts like that where somebody's like they could be like a Gemini sun or an Aries sun or like a fire sign sun, right? Because they move quickly, and then everything else is like Earth. And then it's just like, yeah, you're mainly Earth, bro. You're mainly Earth, bro. But let's see. For your question, which deck is calling for this? Yeah, the mermaids wants to take this one, so we're just gonna go with that. We're gonna go. We're gonna listen to the decks and all of the things. Okay. So, calling on their ancestors, spirits. What do they need to? Sorry, I'm laughing at the card that came out. What do they need to know? I'm laughing at the card that came out. Based on the conversation that we just had, I'm laughing at the card that just came out. You're going to realize why in a second. What do they need to know? Okay. There's a lot of... the message is very, very... Listen. You really need to tap in and connect to this Jupiter and Aries energy. I will say that. But okay, so your three cards are one, breaking free. Okay, breaking free. And we have re-energize, which is why I was laughing because we were just talking about this. And then we have free spirit. So lots of free things. Okay, breaking free, free spirit. Okay, lots of free lots of free things. Hold on. Gotta drink some water. You guys know your girl talks a lot, so but okay, so first of all, I know you said you just wanted to check in. But it's definitely like you're working on self-care and okay, we understand that, but I feel like there are certain things that you're breaking through right now as far as kind of getting back on track with yourself, which is something that Aries does go through occasionally. Granted, Jupiter's in Aries and retrograde right now, so if you're feeling slower than usual, it's because the retrograde is not letting you go forward right now. That's not... it's a no. But it's more about you revisiting any habits, any things, any situation, any person, anything that's literally holding you back. Okay. Anything that needs to be reevaluated. Okay. It's about you getting back on track with yourself, and you're already focusing on self-care. But that self-care is healing you in many different ways. And in part of that is you ending cycles. Within the next couple of weeks, especially through Scorpio season, you are going to be either releasing certain things, certain friendships, certain decisions will be made where you're just kind of like, okay, I kind of want to do this, or I kind of want to do me right now, or I kind of just, just kind of following the beat on your own drum, which is very Aries energy. Okay, very much Aries energy. You might revisit something that you love doing as part as of your self care. You might, end some friendships or relationships during this time. You might feel like you don't want to be stuck on certain things anymore, and you just want to do other things for whatever reason. Um, it feels like you are liberating yourself and just kind of, again, you're focusing on you. Your self-care is going to feel like you are breaking through and breaking past old cycles. Even bottom of the deck is move forward. Literally, bottom of the deck is move forward. You're also getting re-energized, which means that through you breaking free, you're going to have to recharge your batteries. And sometimes self-care is you sleeping an extra hour. Sometimes self-care is you um playing video games. Sometimes self-care is you doing something that's going to make you happy, or something that's going to make you um like it could make you feel like a kid, like going hiking, or playing, doing something that you love doing, like going and spending time in a certain place that you really love to spend time in. The way that you recharge your batteries could look different depending on what it is that you love to do. I love recharging my batteries in nature. I love being by the ocean, by the water, that literally just being in the sun, being at the beach, just kind of, y'all know I'm an island girl. So that's how I recharge, by just going to the beach. Um, but the way that you re-energize is going to be part of that liberation that you're taking in for yourself, and then that Aries is gonna kick in. Okay, your Aries is gonna kick in once you feel the energy and feel that fire, feel that passion, right? Because Aries is a very passionate sign because you guys are ruled by Mars. Once you feel that passion, you'll be a little bit more focused on kind of staying on track, but you really have to build your way up to that energy. You can't do that if you're still stuck. Okay. So part of your self-care right now is to make sure that you are releasing anything that's not meant to be in your path right now. And then feeling passionate about the things that you do want to have in your life at the same time. This is the time where you're going to be feeling a lot of different things. Okay. You're going to need a little bit of patience. You're going to need a little bit of, you're going to need to listen to yourself when it comes to what it is that you want to do, um, and how you approach your life coming up in the next couple of months through the end of the year. It's going to feel very much free spirit. You might even just want to spend time by yourself, like not with other people, but by yourself, which is again very Aries energy, to be just in solo adventure mode. And just kind of doing your own thing until you get passionate about something else that you want to partake or do, or spend time with others in that way. But it's kind of like you're going to be doing your own thing for a minute, and that's going to actively be recharging your batteries. You spending time on your own, you kind of just, again, you moving forward is going to help you navigate what's coming up in the future, what's coming up when it comes to you feeling passion, you feeling like, oh my God, I really want to do this. I really want to work on this. I feel so passionate about it. Like the Aries thing that Aries loves to feel. Yeah, you getting on track and back on track with yourself in that way is healing. It's ultimately how Aries recharges. It's really by focusing on being that free spirit. But before you can be a free spirit, you do have to break free from anything that's preventing you from being a free spirit. So that way you can energize and oh, had to sneeze. That way you can re-energize and then actually feel passionate about other aspects of life that maybe you've been neglecting certain things for a minute now. And now it's like, no, I really want to focus on this now. I really want to like maybe play video games for like a whole month. Like if that's what you feel passionate about doing, do the thing. Ain't nobody gonna be mad. Um, but this is a time where you are actively just getting back on track with yourself, which is beautiful because this is more about you and your relationship with yourself and your relationship with your energy than it is about you dealing with other outside factors. Even though breaking free could be you dealing with outside factors and drama that could be a little bit more complicated, but for the most part it's more about you getting back on track. And Aries generally doesn't have a problem liberating themselves from certain things because you're the first cardinal sign, right? You got to make moves. You got to do your own thing. So keep focusing on your self care. Be gentle with yourself. Don't push anything that doesn't need to be like pushed. Just if it doesn't need to be pushed, it doesn't need to be pushed. That's fine. Just go with the flow. Take it easy. Don't don't overwhelm yourself. Just take it easy. It's a really good time for you to just follow the beat of your own flame, okay? And just do it naturally. Move as it comes naturally to you. But yeah, other than that, you're gonna be fine. I just feel like you're recharging. You're going through quite a bit of things, but that Jupiter in Aries retrograde has definitely been impacting you. But that's probably why you've also been feeling a little bit of a slowdown as far as like working on as being directional, because Aries is always very much forward moving, but then when a retrograde hits, it's like, ugh, it's like eyes rolling in the back of your head. But that is your reading, my love. Thank you so much for asking a question and becoming a channel member. Thank you for all of the love and support. I really appreciate it, and I love you guys so much. But yeah, with that being said, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and sign off for the night. I have to like basically wash my hair and get ready for tomorrow because I have to wake up hella early because just to remind everybody, if you're not doing anything tomorrow and you're in New York City, I will be at the Bronx Native American Festival, which is a powwow that's happening in Pelham Bay Park. So if you want to pull up and say hi and come through. I'm gonna be vlogging it, so yeah, if I see you tomorrow, you might see yourself in the vlog later. But yeah, if you guys want to come through. And yeah, I will see y'all in the next video. Thank y'all so much for all the love and support. And all of the things. You guys are the best. And have a good night. Have a good night, y'all. Stay safe. Good night, y'all.